Hello and welcome to this week's bonus episode of
Advice from your besties.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
So we always take questions every single week on Instagram, and they're anonymous, so feel free to ask anything.
Sorry, our new theme song is playing.
It's playing. So our question this week is, I know I'm not giving 100%. Any tips or tricks on how to motivate me to give more? Good one. Okay. I think the first step is acknowledging that you're not giving 100%.
Uh-huh. Okay, here's the thing. I'm intrinsically lazy, so I really resonate with this. It's almost like somebody crawled into my head and was like, I'm going to ask this on behalf of Chelsea, because I too would like to know, because I know I'm not giving 100%.
Well, I was also feeling this way like earlier in the week or like yesterday. I'm like, I know I could be giving more and not like waiting for something to happen for me.
Yes, like I am waiting for an external motivation. Like Powerhouse is coming up. Like I know I'll come back energized and renewed and motivated and all the things, but why can't I be motivated in anticipation of it? Or why can't I be motivated in the absence of a very big external motivation? Like, can't I anticipate? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I wait. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to happen, so then this will help me out with this. Like, and I'm like waiting for like external help to happen, and I hate like falling into that pattern of waiting for someone to come rescue me, and then or something to rescue me. And as soon as I get to that feeling, I'm like, ugh, I don't like that feeling. So,
or I feel when I get to that event, then I'm kicking myself for not doing more work and feeling more prepared. And then, I feel so we're not really answering this question. We're actually
like we get you. Yeah, we get you. We feel you. I would say, okay, so yes, there's Powerhouse Women coming up for us in like about a month. And
28 days to be exact.
28 days. Okay. So when we go to Powerhouse, we have some goals in mind that we want to accomplish, and we want to be speaking on stage. And that's why we submit our video. So please, please, please share and comment on that. But in the meantime, how are we going to prepare to be who we want to be at Powerhouse Women? I think that maybe if you think about who you are when you reach that goal or that event, can help to motivate you to put more effort in ahead of time.
And if you don't have an event, what would you say?
I would say, yeah, like for life, like I don't have a lot of events coming up all the time, but I have a business to run. So I'm like, okay, this goal for this week is like, I have to make this much money and I need to like see this many patients. And I think just having like small incremental goals to hit daily or hit weekly to keep you on track and to actually like write it down and see it will help you know if you're giving 100% or not. Because I write down every single week, like how many people did I ask for a referral? How many people did I ask to do this? How many people did I contact with this? When I look at the numbers and I see that I haven't hit my numbers, I'm like, ooh, now I know I'm not giving 100%. And like that reflects on everything else that's happening.
Right. I ran into a friend or a colleague yesterday, and she was telling me all these things. She's in the fashion design industry. She's got her own company, manufactures, and the things that she told me she does in one single day. And she's like, I spent 2 hours just researching how to do all the video and just the marketing on Instagram. I was like, I don't do anything for 2 hours. Well, and it just made me feel, I was disappointed with myself.
I think that if you're saying that the next thing coming up is Powerhouse Women in 28 days, you're giving yourself 28 days to prepare and 28 days to do that. What if Powerhouse Women was in 2 days? What would you be doing differently? And how would you be preparing? What would you be doing?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So setting a sooner deadline is also like a little mindset.
Like an impending deadline.
An impending deadline. That's like a little mindset trick. Like, oh, yes, I do have all day to do this, but actually I'm just going to give myself 1 or 2 hours to get it done. And then you're done.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my little tip on that.
I have nothing, but I look forward to reporting back and see if that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? I know. We had this one like funny question.
Which was,
what was the worst trouble you got into as a kid?
I don't have enough time for this story. Do you want me to tell it? Have I never told this story on air?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I got to do this fast because it's not a fast story. I was dating this guy. We broke up, still very much in love with him. I was a I was a sophomore in high school. He didn't invite me to the prom. He invited someone else. But he said, "Do you want to hook up afterwards?" And I was like, "Of course I do. How could I say no?" So then I had 2 friends spending the night, but I still snuck out because what do I care? They're sleeping. So I snuck out. His parents didn't like me. They caught wind that we were making out in the basement, and we were only making out. I mean, like, I wasn't slutty.
Nothing more than making out?
No, maybe heavy petting.
Okay.
Okay, so then his parents caught wind that I was there. So they abruptly put me in the car, he and his friend, and then his dad was following us. It was like a high-speed chase, and they were trying to lose his dad. And they said, "Let's just drop you off at the 7-Eleven. We'll be back momentarily." They never came back. And so here I am. I don't know how long I waited at that 7-Eleven in the next town over, which is approximately like 14 minutes away. And now it's 5 a.m. The sun's coming up. I have to make a collect call because they had payphones then. And I make a collect call my dad, and he's like, "What? Where are you?" And I said, "I'm in Hamburg." And he was like, "What?" I said, "I need you to get me. I'm stranded." So he came and he proceeded to yell at me. And then he and my mom sat me down and they proceeded to call me a slut and whore and all these things. Meanwhile, my friends are upstairs and they were mad at
They're
me.
snoozing away.
And but that they could not be because they were yelling so loud. And then they just kept going and going. And I was like, "I get the message." So I was like, "Can I go to bed now?" And they're like, "Oh no, go down to the cellar and start ironing. And you're going to iron all your father's 80s, not like early 90s, pleated business pants. And then his dress shirts, because you wore a dress shirt and a tie every day. And then when you're done with that, then you can start ironing the rest of the clothes. Then you can iron the bed sheets. Then you can iron your father's underwear. And at 3:00, then they let me go to bed."
Oh my God. That is the oddest form of punishment.
3 hours of intense labor with like when you're sleep deprived. And then those bitches were mad at me. I'm like, "Fuck you, bitches. What are you mad about? You heard what I got." I wouldn't be mad.
I would be mad.
Why?
Because
what do you give a fuck?
Because I came over to your house to
You were
hang
sleeping.
out.
It was like after midnight.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you leave your friends at your house?
Because they were sleeping and the opportunity to hook up with this guy was huge. Anyway, so that wraps this week's Q&A.
Oh, well, I have a story.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to get short of time. Okay, sorry.
Okay, mine's like very quick. Actually, I only remember getting in trouble 2 times, like getting caught. So one time I was in 3rd grade and our teacher worked at a candy store part-time. So she always had a jar of candy. So every single recess, me and my friends would sneak in and grab one piece of candy from the candy jar every single day. And then eventually we got caught for stealing because you're not supposed to steal candy from the candy jar. I know. I think I had detention or something.
3rd grade.
In 3rd grade. And then honestly, I had detention a lot, but that was just for talking in class. That was like throughout my school career. And then the time I actually got in trouble was my brother had a New Year's Eve party, his senior year of high school. I think I was a freshman or sophomore. Must have been a sophomore because I could drive. So me and my friend, we were like, "Okay, well, we want to drink with you too. And we want to party with you too." So we're like taking shots. I got so blackout drunk. I feel like maybe in like an hour of drinking. And my friend wasn't really drinking. So then I know we went to another party because we ended up there at some point. And then also just like hazy in and out. Like, I don't know what's happening. I wake up at my friend's house the next day and I have this like big scrape all like on one side of my face. Like my cheek is all scraped up. And my friend's mom is like, "Lindsay, your parents are on their way. They are pissed." And I was like, "You're so funny." Like, funny joke. Because all throughout school, I was just like going out drinking and like I would stay at her house. And I was like, "That's like really funny." She's like, no. They are on their way and they're pissed. I'm like, okay. So like my dad comes to pick me up and we're driving and there's like beer cans in the road. He's like, "That's from you, isn't it? That's from you. That's from you." And I was like, I don't know, like maybe. So then like I'm so hungover and luckily they let me sleep. Apparently my friend backed my car into someone else's car in our driveway and the cops were there. I remember none of this. And my friend is like covering for me like, no, like don't like get the cops, like don't talk to Lindsay. And my parents are like convinced still to this day that I was driving the car and I backed into someone, but I was like blackout drunk. So I don't think I was driving. But they will never let me forget that I was such a disgrace and I got so drunk.
My goodness gracious. Okay, I have another story. It was prom. My parents, I was still dating this guy, so it must have been freshman year. And then my parents, there was 2 limos, and they rented the 2 limos, right? One was a limo for drinkers. The other one was for 2 couples to make out. I was not in the drinking limo. Shocker. So we're making out. Limo 1, they're getting really drunk, and then somebody throws up in the limo and like breaks the TV. And then we just drove around and made out. The next morning, the limo company calls my parents. And they're like, we're keeping the deposit. Somebody threw up in the car in the limo and broke the TV. And they were like, you did this. And I was like, no, I don't even drink. I was in the other limo. And they said, we don't care. So then what did they do? They proceeded to call every single person that was in the limo. They proceeded to call every one of my friends, their parents, to tell them what happened.
Yikes.
So then they were all fucking mad at me. But full circle, I met up with one of the guys. Okay, so Orchard Park, we're in Buffalo. And then he came out to Denver and Facebook connected. And this must have been like 15 years ago. And he was like, I have to be honest. It was me that threw up.
Oh,
and
he's been holding on to that guilt.
He's like, I threw up and I broke the TV. And I broke the TV because like somebody's foot like broke the dial off. And he's like, I want to call your mom and apologize.
Oh,
I was like, where the fuck were you that day? Because I was grounded for like 2 weeks. And then no one spoke to me.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone is so pissed on Monday. I was like,
I know that feeling.
When everyone's mad at you on Monday.
Yeah. Okay, one more quick story. Because yes, this is what happened. We were at a party. This was in high school. And this is when Facebook like just started. And we all had those digital cameras actually.
Sure.
Like snapping photos. And I'm like, I'm going to make an album on Facebook about what we were doing this weekend. And a bunch of high schoolers getting trashed with like red Solo cups, and we're all like drunk, and it's the whole basketball team, like boys and girls, like people of all ages. And then like Monday rolls around and we like all get called down to the principal's office, like all the basketball team players.
Did you already upload it to Facebook?
Oh yeah, I was like uploaded to Facebook at this point. Okay, we like were convinced that this one kid's mom told on us, even though she's the one that hosts like a lot of parties. But we were convinced that she told on us because her son was the only one who wasn't reported, and I was like, he was fucking there. So essentially, we all got suspended from basketball for like 2 to 3 games. And that was like, if it was your first offense. For some of my friends, this was like their 3rd or 4th offense of getting caught drinking. So they were suspended from high school sports for the rest of their high school career.
Oh,
yeah. So there's
no
like,
joke.
yeah. So there was like a couple people who like had to miss the rest of basketball season. They couldn't do baseball or track in the spring.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like I fucked up real bad by posting those photos. And
that was all your fault?
That was all my fault.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a doozy.
That was such a doozy. Like, I still feel bad about that. And, like, I don't know, being, like, dumb and, like, posting things on Facebook. And, like...
You learned that hard lesson.
Learn the hard way. Like, I didn't know someone's going to, like, tell on us or, like...
Look.
Or, like, it's not like there's photos of us drinking, but it's, like, obviously there's, like, beer cans in the background or, like, we all kind of look drunk. So, yeah, that was, like...
Ouch.
Not good. And a lot of people were really mad at me for a while. But yeah, so that's the worst stories of us getting in trouble as kids.
I bet I could think. I was in trouble a lot. I was in trouble a lot. And it wasn't my fault.
See, the thing is, I just didn't get caught most of the time. So
no, I mean, they were waiting to pounce on me.
Oh.
They were waiting. It was almost like they were waiting to punish me.
Okay. Well, now I like really want to know someone else's worst.
Yeah. Can you top those?
Yeah. Can you top those? Like, please send us a DM or something, or like, actually no, take a screenshot of this episode and then share it on Instagram and just give us like a quick little tidbit. Like that one time I got the whole basketball team busted in high school for drinking. Yeah. And make sure you share this with a friend because I think it'll be a lot of fun.
This is a good one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.